back in elementary. Like, I don't know what grade it was, but I do know it must have been like grade 3 or grade 2 or 3. I think it was grade 3. And I was wearing this tight pair of pants. And in those days, my grandmother would make my pants. I didn't like the feeling of store-bought jeans. And luckily for my grandmother, she was well enough to make them. She made a lot of my clothes growing up when I was a kid. Not the shirts, mostly pants. I didn't like the feeling of jeans back then. I do today, but, you know, just things that you do growing up. Now, to the embarrassing story that I like to laugh at today. But yes, it is true. I did rip my pants when I was in elementary school, and it was pretty shocking at the time. It still kind of is. So, I mean, luckily for my teacher, I had an amazing teacher. She was like, hey, do not laugh at him. And in fact, not much kids didn't laugh at all. No one laughed, I don't think. But I remember my teacher was like, are you okay? And I was, but I was crossing because, you know, luckily the janitor had an old, like I don't know, these overalls that I just put on, and luckily Grandma had another pair of pants ready for me to try on that day, and it worked. It was fine. And it was embarrassing, of course, and it was like I was living the old, oh no, I ripped my pants. These things happen. People get embarrassed all the time. I still do. But I don't rip my pants anymore. Nowadays I just check. That was definitely one of my favorite memories in elementary. At the time it wasn't, but, you know, shortly after that it did become a favorite memory of mine. The popular children's network show Arthur was a favorite of mine at the time, and there was an episode that I would absolutely keep watching because I had the DVD of it. It was Arthur's Underwear. And at that time, I wasn't like, oh, that's not going to happen. And it did. It did happen. And now when I watched the show, I watched it again recently. I know I'm a bit old for that kind of show, but I just thought, you know what? This was one of my favorite shows as a child. This favorite episode in particular, I'll watch it. So I did. And oh boy. I just was like, man, that wasn't necessarily me. It was, but it wasn't that... Okay, well, it was exactly like it. It was exactly like it, except it wasn't the cafeteria. It was in the classroom, and my teacher... I was grateful for my teacher to be in that room and stop them. Well, they didn't even laugh at all. They were just like, you all right? And he also had a good friend. She was like, did you rip? I was just like, you know. And she's just like, oh, are you okay? Yeah, you know, I had an amazing friend, amazing teachers, and a show I could relate to. Have you ever had the most embarrassing story of your life? I'm interested in hearing more. If you have an embarrassing story, please leave a comment. See you then, guys. Mr. Blue's here for you.